white desktop. That means I'm home. It's 10 o'clock at night and I just arrived home and I took a shower and settled down. And then I took this thing out of my suitcase and now I am going to work on this thing. So the first thing I need to take care of is this lining situation because tomorrow I'm having a fitting session with my friend in the morning and I do want to get this lining done because I don't want the canvas to be grazing against her legs. That's very uncomfortable. Also, I need to do the waist. Because, yeah, I don't want to pin the skirt onto the waist tomorrow during the fitting because it's going to get all droopy. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do the lining first and then the waist. And that will be all for tonight. I did a lot of packing yesterday and this morning and I just got off from a flight, so I'm kind of tired. So I think I'm just going to spend 2 to 3 hours working on this thing and then I'll go to sleep, and then tomorrow I'll wake up and go to my friend's apartment and give her a fitting. So let's get to work and do some hand stitching. I just came back from the fitting with my friend and that was amazing. Almost everything fits perfectly. So the only thing I need to fix is the bodice because she is even smaller than I remember. And I made the bodice a tiny bit too big and it's really not good because the skirt is actually super heavy. First of all, it's a circle skirt, so there's a lot of fabric. And I even added canvas at the hem. So yeah, the skirt is super heavy. And the waist is just kind of not tight enough, so when the dress is kind of pulling down, it pulls at her entire upper bodice, and that is not a good look. So I'm just going to take in quite a bit from the waist to the neckline here, so basically all across the center back seam. But it's going to be an easy fix, because it's just ripping the zipper apart and then reattaching it, so that should be quick and easy. Other than that, everything else was great. She liked the dress, she liked the length, she liked the style, it was perfect. So first I'm going to fix this center back situation and then I can move on to adding the lining and finalizing the neckline. Quite a lot of work for a day and a half before the wedding, but I think I can handle it. So now I'm just going to brew myself some tea and get to work. The zipper fix was quick and easy as I expected, so I moved on to cleaning up the neckline. I first trimmed the excess fabric, then I fold and whip stitched the seam allowance inwards to create a nice clean neckline. For the decoration bits on the neckline, I decided to use a cream color silk organza instead of the chiffon, because I find that the chiffon is a bit too soft for the look I want. So I took some silk, cut some 5cm bias strips out of it, hand stitch and gather all the strips to create sheer delicate ruffles. Then I hand stitch the ruffles all around the neckline. After the neckline, I moved on to the waistband. The waistband is actually made of some fabric scraps I cut out from the groom's outfit when I was doing his alterations. This detail made the two outfits really matchy-matchy, and it saves me the trouble of choosing a right shade of blue for the waistband. The waistband was purely decorative and has no structural importance, so I just stitched the waistband onto the dress with loose stitches. After the decorations are done, I could finally move on to adding the lining. I used the same lining I did on the hemline. I simply assembled the lining pieces by machine and then whip stitched the entire lining onto the interior of the dress. The lining connects to the dress on the two armholes, the neckline, the center back, and the waist, so it was quite a bit of hand stitching. It's 10 o'clock at night, and today all day I have been working on the wedding related stuff. So I did the main wedding dress, I did the alterations for my friend's fiance, and I actually made one more dress in just one day, I kid you not. So the thing that's going to happen on my friend's wedding is that she will stand at the reception with her fiance, and then she's going to change into her main wedding dress. So before her main wedding dress, she originally bought a dress, but the thing is, someone else bought the same dress as she did, and that someone else posted a bunch of photos in her social media without knowing that my friend actually intended to wear the same dress on the wedding. So yeah, my friend was like, okay, now like someone else has posted a bunch of photos and all my friends saw it, so I don't want to wear the same dress at my wedding. Because, you know, wedding. So yeah, I actually rushed out a bias dress for her in just one day, but I didn't film it because it was a very stressful process. I mean, like whipping out a dress in just one day is super stressful and it was chaotic, and I just really didn't want to bother with filming. But yeah, I rushed out 2 dresses for my friend. It's really kind of crazy. But anyway, there's one more thing to do, which is preparing the veil. I have actually finished part of it already. So there are 2 parts. So the first is the silk organza veil. I just dug out this giant piece of like a creamy white color silk organza in my sewing stash, and I decided to use this to create the veil for my friend. And the veil goes onto this little hairband thing. I made this myself, so I took a hairband and I just did a bunch of flowers on it. These are supposed to be hydrangea, but I don't know, I think they do look like hydrangeas, right? But anyway, I just individually cut the flowers and then I painted them blue. Originally the fabric was white, so I painted every flower blue and I just kind of stitched all the flowers to the headband, and now it's a beautiful little blue hydrangea headband. So now one final touch is just to connect this part to this part and we'll be done. And tomorrow we can kind of like assemble the bride, because we actually did a fitting yesterday and we did another fitting for the bias dress today, but we actually didn't put everything together, you know. We first did the fitting on the first dress and then I did a little test run on her makeup because I'm doing her makeup as well, and today we did the bias dress fitting. So like everything was prepared, but we never really put everything together at once and thus completing the look, you know? I know it's like risky, you're not supposed to do that. I think if you're going to get married, it's best you do like your full trial run before your wedding, but well, it's her first time getting married and it's my first time helping someone get married, so yeah. Anyway, enough talking. Now I'm just going to stitch this part to the headband and create a beautiful bridal headpiece. Today is the big day. Look at all the flowers. Look at this cottage core sort of thing right here. It's really pretty. I just did my friend's makeup and hair, and later I'm going to change her into the dress, and then I will show you snippets of the wedding so you could see the dress in action. So let's go.